Hi, good afternoon. My name is Mauricio Franco. I'm a student from the course of EFL Literacy. So I'm going to develop the last learning activities from Module 4 and start with the first point that is about compare my experience with the last article that we had to read. So, in my experience, when I finished my school, I had to I started to study English from a course. So after the 10, 11 levels, they offered us a proficiency to prepare to present the TOEFL exam. So I have here the book. Is very big book. It has about grammar, structure, and listening and reading. So what I want to mention is I have to be very critical, or I have to go very deep in the reading, or check the grammatical, for example, because this is a high level or comprehension. So I think that is the best relation with the article that I wrote. Is very like a tricky reading that I had to do. So another example is, as we can see in the video, is the different courses that we have to study in our career. Maybe it's not about learning English, it's learning how to teach. So in the first semesters is kind of easy to handle those some courses, but after the half of the career is much more difficult. So we have to see some specific courses like phonetics and phonology. So you have to know how to articulate your muscles, how to read the correct pronunciation of the words. So you have to be very conscious and go deeper, and take a moment thinking in a way that you understand what is the objective of the course. So I think it's the relation with also a critical literacy. So you recognize the sounds, the pronunciation, the correct way to do the pronunciation, where the sounds come from. So I think, okay, let's start with the second point. Is about the critical, how critical literacy integrates the dimension of literacy that is involved in traditional views, sociocultural perspective, and multimodal literacy. So and the first part we watched the video about the teacher that is trying to is teaching some people. So we found the common the common So in this first module, we saw the literacy, the concept, what is the definition about UNESCO, well, those skills. We also check that if the meaning of literacy is only about reading or writing, but we know that is more than that. So we have some, for example, some sub skills that we can find in reading, like a letter recognition, identify the main idea, inferring, predicting. So it is important to mention, because when you do that, it's because you have a critical opinion about the work that you are doing. To check, to inferring, you have to take a moment to think about it. So the same in the same case of writing. Writing, you have to thinking very well what are you going to write. For example, develop and use writing strategies, planning, drafting, editing. So I think it's the not only the simple way to define literacy. So there's more than we have. There's more. So there are more than the only definition about reading and writing. So in the second part, we have the sociocultural dimension. So there we have this relation, and how we as a kids start to study or to learn in a social context, in a cultural context, that is, or an historic context, that where we live. For example, we learned from the example of our parents in our house, how to speak, how to loud to do it, how to move, the posture, the duties, the we have to do, those things. Or even in schools, we have to watching from the example from the others. Then individually we're going to do it. But as we can see, there's literacy is not defined only as an individual cognitive act. Is a social practice, and this social practice is much better in now, in the case that we are in the school or in university. Is necessary apprentice people, that is in this case a teacher, who is the person who guides you, who shows you with who is going to have this communication. So you can see from the teacher the critical opinion of what you are doing, how you are going to learn, what is your needs. So I think is the second connection with the sociocultural approach or the perspective. So after that, we can see here the knowledge is also is going to go deeper. So we are going to see in the module 3 that is, it has a relation with the multiliteracy and multimodal. So okay, so it's important to say that is the social construction of meaning talks about what I wrote at the. So in social culture, what is clear about literacy is that one learns about within a social context as an extension of relationship with other people. So we have partners, we have teachers, we are in a social culture, we are learning in that way. Okay, for the module 3 sorry, we have these definitions of I'm sorry, about literacy and literacy. Okay, so we have as a multiliteracies has the variety of type of literacy. We recognize there are different types of literacy. None of them are necessary for everybody. So in this case, in my case, we are studying English, but it's not necessary that learn mathematics or biology because I'm focused is in English. So in the other side, we have the multimodal literacy. That is an exploration of different types of media, modes of communication that are already there. We can use in our classes, and we can also learn from that. Okay. So as we saw in this case, I'm doing a video, I'm using a presentation, I'm also reading, I'm checking some information, I'm trying to speak correctly, and I think it is a tool in multimodal text, like when you use image, video, audio, hyperlinks, among others. So I think is very important to see this the way that I'm doing is a kind of a good example of what is multimodal. So I had to be critical because I had to choose the option for do this. So I had to think that I need to show a presentation and also my face, my voice, and also another extra material, and doing some order, develop the question. So I think it's the correct relation between critical literacy and multimodal literacy. So at the end, in module 4, that is about the critical literacy, the article, we have the okay, we have the opportunity to I had the opportunity to read this article that is is very nice to read how teachers we can help to, in this case, from Taiwan people learn the EFL and change the perspective to be or to get critical in what they are doing. So I want to check some important thing in this article that for me is the question that the teacher use to with their students. So it's going to go deeper from the articles, and we can find some question like this: where might you find this text? How can you tell us what is the topic, what is the purpose, to whom it is written, who probably wrote it, and what would their position be in one institution, why was the text written? So those kind of questions that I think a teacher prepared makes you as a student to be very critical, to it's not about the read and complete some as answers or do the task. Is the moment you have to found on the article those answers that the teacher is looking for. So I think it's very important the role of the teacher to do those questions. So we saw the example of fake news. So, but it's important to this definition in critical literacy. The system, that is the language, is the engage that the people have to do with the text in an active way. I think is more important. It's not to be a passive person that read and that's it. So you have to be very conscious and make some question by yourself or to yourself, and go deeper, go beyond that. So we have this definition. I think it's short times. I'm sorry to take a lot of time to develop these ideas, but I want to do a I wanted to do a review of those topics that we saw in all the course. That is a lot of information to reduce in just few minutes. So thank you so much, teacher. I hope complete the specification that you already need about this part. I think in my experience as a student, this kind of article, this kind of literature makes you is the same. It makes you have a critical view. so a critical literacy about what you have to do, and take a moment, check again, and think some questions, what the purpose of the article and those things. So in general, critical literacy is in everything that we have to do, because we are not like robots. We everything that we do is important to check, to be active in an active way about our knowledge, and this is important to real focus in we are doing. It's not just do it to finish the task. I think when you are very critical, you can do some investigation, some research, and very important things. So thank you, teacher. Good afternoon.